Well, we're eventually here at Epsom Downs, and we are currently situated at one of the quietest places on the whole racetrack because the activity and the preparation for the world's greatest flat race is absolutely feverish all around the track. But behind me, you'll see the starting stalls situated right near the pull-up of the Investec Derby and the Investec Oaks and all the other races that will take place on Friday and Saturday. And we're now going to take a look at the infield, which has this year been purchased by Poundland, which is owned by the Steinhoff Group. Marcus and Ingrid Jooste will have a runner in the race and a horse called Douglas MacArthur in partnership with some very prominent English owners trained by Aidan O'Brien. And he's been absolutely faultless in his preparation, currently on offer at 20-1. But more of that later. In the meantime, one of the founding members of Investec, Mr. Bernard Kantor, tells us about the acquisition of the Hill to Poundland, which appears to be an absolute no-brainer.
For their target market, hand in glove. And remember, people don't really pay to go into the centre of the track, and that's by decree. And the gypsies as well get in there for nothing by decree.
But there's another side to Marcus Jooste that may well be a legitimate entry into this particular race, a horse that has shown his colours in Douglas MacArthur, and he may even have a representative in the Oaks from the William Haggis.
Yep. The Oaks possibility has run once, but William is a maestro, so what can I say? William won't run it unless he thinks the horse has a chance of winning. Douglas MacArthur won a very good, in fact, Aidan ran first, second and third in Ireland, and obviously did enough to impress him to keep him entered in the Derby. I think it's wide open this year, and that's what the Derby is about. But let's not forget, the horse that crosses the line first is overnight worth 40, 50, 60 million pounds. And and that's what it's about. You can go through the whole field. There is nothing there that could not be a great stallion.
Now, from the inception of the Investec Derby, when See the Stars burst onto the scene and gave you massive mileage by going on to winning the Arc and having won the Guineas and all the rest of it, it's now time for See the Stars progeny to run in the Investec Derby, as was the case last year. Frankel's progeny in the Investec Derby, Galileo, all of these sons and grandsons now doing battle on this hallowed turf.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the old man Galileo's progeny compete with all his sons, and let's wait and see. That's why this game is so fascinating. Some of the dam lines obviously are bred to stay. See the Stars, that could be anything. Any of these runners could have a shot.
You see, it's that definitive quality of speed and class, which gives you an inclination that John Gosden might have a very live contender in Cracksman, who's run both at Epsom in the official Derby trial, which he was victorious in. He beat a horse that came out and won the Dante. So that form's solid. He was at breakfast at the Stars. He's out of a mare that won 1.25 miles. So there's every reason to believe, looking at this big action, that John Gosden may have a horse for Sir Anthony Oppenheimer that could follow up where Golden Horn left off.
Well, again, if Sir Anthony Oppenheimer wins it, it's all goes back to South Africa. What can I say? How great would that be? But anyway, these athletes are just supreme athletes. Balanced, speed, stamina, intelligence. You've got to have all those things. You've got to be smart. These are the most highly tuned athletes in the world at the moment. So I guess it's going to be another fascinating Derby.
I'm sure that the love that you have for your family and that the love you have for this business that you've built, this incredible empire, has been done with so much passion and hard work. But when you stand up in that box and the starter hits the lever for the beginning of the Investec Derby 2017, that blood that courses through your veins is incomparable to anything.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of mixed emotions you're now touching on. We never really look at what we've built. Stephen and I sort of worry about paying 9,700 people at the end of the month. We bent on survival, so we are quite cautious, we're quite conservative. So we never really look back. But the one moment that really gives me great pleasure, or the one day, is to stand up top where we have the privilege of racing from and look down. And for those of you who haven't been, you really have to, whilst there's a South African connection, you have to do it. You just have to do it. The greatest flat race in the world. But let's not now start comparing the whole world to
It's like
Epsom.
comparing Investec with something else.
They all
It's
got-
out of the ordinary.
Exactly. Well, that is out of the ordinary, and we'll maintain the out of the ordinariness.
Tarzan and US Army Ranger, then Idaho, racing up to the line. Tarzan pulling away again and wins the Derby.
The Investec Derby is the biggest race in the world.